Today, we're taking a delicious trip down memory lane to explore why some classic dinners from the past are no longer remembered. These meals were once the heart of American households, bringing families together around the dinner table. Number 1. Hoover Stew. Hoover Stew was a hallmark of the 1930s, emerging during the Great Depression when families struggled to afford basic necessities. Named after President Herbert Hoover, who was often blamed for the economic crisis, this dish epitomized the era's need for frugality and resourcefulness. The stew combined inexpensive ingredients: elbow macaroni, canned tomatoes, hot dogs, and canned corn. These items were chosen not only for their low cost, but also for their availability and long shelf life, making them practical for families facing financial hardship. Macaroni provided a hearty base, offering much-needed carbohydrates. Canned tomatoes added flavor and a bit of nutrition, while hot dogs, though processed, contributed protein. Canned corn brought sweetness and additional nutrients, making the stew somewhat balanced despite its simplicity. The preparation was straightforward. Cook the macaroni, heat the canned items, and mix everything together, creating a filling meal with minimal effort and cost. Hoover Stew wasn't just about sustenance, it was a symbol of resilience and ingenuity. Families often shared recipes and tips on how to stretch meals, fostering a sense of community and mutual support. Despite its origins in hardship, Hoover Stew could be made in large batches, ensuring there was enough to feed the whole family and even have leftovers for the next day. As the economy gradually recovered and prosperity returned, people began to move away from these bare-bones meals. The variety of available foods increased, and families sought to distance themselves from the reminders of the difficult times. Consequently, Hoover Stew fell out of favor, becoming a relic of a bygone era. Today, Hoover Stew serves as a poignant reminder of the Great Depression's impact on everyday life. It highlights the importance of adaptability and resourcefulness in the face of adversity. While no longer common on modern dinner tables, the story of Hoover Stew provides valuable historical context for understanding how economic conditions can shape dietary habits. This simple dish remains an important part of America's culinary heritage, reflecting both the struggles and the resilience of those who lived through one of the nation's toughest periods. Number 2. Spam and eggs. Spam and eggs became a staple during the 1940s due to the constraints of World War II rationing. Fresh meat was scarce, and Spam, a canned pre-cooked meat product, offered an affordable and readily available alternative. This combination provided a reliable source of protein, essential for maintaining energy levels during tough times. Spam, made from pork shoulder and ham, was introduced in 1937 by Hormel Foods Corporation. Its long shelf life and convenience made it an ideal choice for both military and civilian use during the war. The U.S. government purchased large quantities of Spam to feed troops overseas, making it a familiar product for many Americans. Eggs, though rationed, were still more accessible than fresh meat. Combining Spam with eggs was a practical solution, creating a hearty meal that could be prepared quickly. The simplicity of the dish, pan-frying slices of Spam and scrambling or frying eggs, made it a favorite among busy households. It required minimal ingredients and cooking skills, yet delivered a satisfying and nutritious meal. The popularity of Spam and eggs persisted throughout the war years and into the early post-war period. However, as the economy improved and fresh meat became more plentiful, the reliance on canned meat products decreased. People began to prefer fresh options over the processed alternatives that had become a wartime necessity. Despite this shift, Spam and eggs left a lasting legacy. It highlighted the adaptability and resourcefulness of American families during a period of significant hardship. Today, Spam remains popular in certain regions, particularly in Hawaii and parts of Asia, where it is incorporated into traditional and fusion dishes. The story of Spam and eggs is a testament to the resilience of people during challenging times. It underscores how necessity can drive culinary innovation and create enduring food traditions. This simple yet hearty meal is more than just a wartime relic. It represents a chapter in the broader narrative of food history, reflecting the ingenuity and adaptability of those who lived through one of the most tumultuous periods in modern history. Number 3. Chicken a la king. Chicken a la king gained popularity in the 1950s as a quintessential comfort food. This dish featured tender pieces of chicken cooked in a rich, creamy sauce made with mushrooms, green peppers, and sherry, served over toast, rice, or pasta. Its origins are somewhat disputed, with claims dating back to the early 20th century, but it truly became a household favorite in the mid-century era, aligning perfectly with the era's culinary trends. Convenience was key during this time, as TV dinners and other easy-to-prepare meals became staples in American homes. Chicken a la king fit this mold perfectly, offering a quick yet elegant meal option. It was often found in the frozen food section, making it an easy go-to for busy families. The creamy sauce was a major draw, blending savory and slightly sweet flavors that were enhanced by the addition of sherry. This added a touch of sophistication to what was essentially a simple meal. The dish's flexibility also contributed to its popularity. It could be served over various bases like toast points, rice, or noodles, adapting to what was available in the pantry. However, the rise of fresh cooking and the increasing awareness of the health implications of processed foods in the later decades led to chicken a la king's decline. As people began to prioritize fresh ingredients and homemade meals, dishes that relied on canned or prepackaged components started to fall out of favor. Moreover, the elaborate preparation of the creamy sauce, which often included butter and cream, became less appealing in the context of growing health consciousness. Number 4. Beef stroganoff. Beef stroganoff, a rich and creamy dish, made its way into American kitchens during the 1960s, thanks to the growing influence of global travel on American cuisine. Originating from Russia, this dish consists of sautéed pieces of beef, typically tenderloin or sirloin, cooked with onions and mushrooms in a sour cream-based sauce. It is traditionally served over egg noodles or rice. During the 1960s, beef stroganoff became a popular choice for dinner parties and family meals alike. Its combination of tender beef and creamy sauce appealed to American palates, and its exotic origins added an element of sophistication to home cooking. The dish was relatively easy to prepare, making it accessible for home cooks looking to impress their guests. The recipe variations were numerous, with some incorporating mustard or tomato paste to add depth to the sauce. The use of sour cream gave the dish its distinctive tangy flavor, which was balanced by the earthiness of mushrooms and the sweetness of caramelized onions. The choice of beef cut was crucial, as the dish relied on tender, quick-cooking pieces to maintain its luxurious texture. However, as the 1970s and 1980s approached, dietary trends began to shift. The rise of health consciousness and the popularity of vegetarianism contributed to a decline in the consumption of red meat. Additionally, the labor-intensive preparation of beef stroganoff, with its requirement for multiple cooking steps and ingredients, became less appealing as convenience foods and quicker meal solutions gained traction. Despite its decline in everyday cooking, beef stroganoff remains a nostalgic favorite for many. It often appears in retro cookbooks and themed dinners, serving as a reminder of the culinary explorations of the 1960s. The dish's enduring appeal lies in its rich flavors and comforting textures, making it a timeless classic that continues to be enjoyed by those who appreciate a touch of culinary history. Number 5. Fondue. Fondue, which gained immense popularity in the 1970s, became synonymous with social dining. This Swiss origin dish, where diners dip bread into a pot of melted cheese, epitomized communal eating. The traditional cheese fondue combines Gruyere and Emmental with white wine and garlic, creating a smooth, savory blend. The communal pot is heated over a portable stove, allowing guests to dip and swirl bread cubes using long forks. The 1970s also saw the rise of chocolate fondue, an indulgent dessert where fruits, marshmallows, and cake pieces are dipped into melted chocolate. Meat fondue, known as fondue bourguignonne, involves cooking pieces of beef or chicken in hot oil or broth, offering a savory alternative. These variations made fondue versatile, suitable for appetizers, main courses, or desserts. Fondue's appeal was in its interactive nature, transforming meals into engaging social events. It encouraged conversation and a leisurely dining pace, making it perfect for parties and gatherings. The novelty of cooking and eating from a shared pot added a unique, hands-on element to dining, which was a departure from traditional meal settings. However, the high-fat content of cheese and chocolate fondues contributed to their decline as dietary habits shifted towards healthier options. The preparation, which required specific equipment and attention to detail, also made it less convenient compared to emerging fast and easy meal solutions. Additionally, the mess involved in the aftermath of a fondue night, deterred many from making it a regular feature of their dining routine. Despite these challenges, fondue retains a nostalgic charm. It is often revisited for themed gatherings, retro parties, or special occasions. Modern variations have emerged, focusing on lighter, healthier ingredients, while preserving the essence of the communal experience. For instance, vegetable broth can replace oil in meat fondues, and dark chocolate offers a less sweet alternative for dessert fondues. The cultural impact of fondue is significant. It highlighted the joys of shared meals and interactive dining, a concept that continues to influence contemporary culinary trends. While fondue may not be a staple in everyday meals, its legacy endures in the way it brought people together, creating memorable dining experiences that went beyond just eating. Number 6. Tuna Noodle Casserole. Tuna noodle casserole was a staple in American households during the 1950s and 1960s, known for its simplicity and affordability. This dish typically consisted of canned tuna, egg noodles, and a creamy sauce made from condensed soup, often mushroom or celery, topped with breadcrumbs or potato chips for added crunch. The ingredients were easy to find and economical, making it a go-to meal for busy families. The creamy sauce, made from condensed soup, provided a rich and comforting base, binding the tuna and noodles together. The preparation was straightforward. Cook the noodles, mix with tuna and soup, place in a casserole dish, and bake until bubbly. The addition of a crunchy topping added texture, making the dish more appealing. Tuna noodle casserole was particularly popular because it could be prepared quickly and required minimal culinary skills. It was often one of the first recipes young cooks learned, symbolizing the era's reliance on convenience foods. However, as American culinary tastes evolved, there was a shift towards fresh ingredients and diverse cuisines. This change in dietary preferences led to a decline in the casserole's popularity. Number 7. Salisbury Steak. Salisbury steak, popularized in the 1950s and 1960s, was a staple in many American households, especially as part of TV dinners. This dish consists of ground beef mixed with breadcrumbs, onions, and seasonings, shaped into patties, and cooked in a savory brown gravy. The concept was to provide a meat option that was more affordable and accessible than traditional steaks. The preparation of Salisbury steak was straightforward. The beef mixture was formed into patties, which were then browned in a skillet before being simmered in a rich gravy made from beef broth, onions, and sometimes mushrooms. The gravy added moisture and flavor, making the dish a hearty and satisfying meal. Salisbury steak's popularity soared with the advent of TV dinners, which provided convenient, pre-portioned meals that could be quickly heated and served. This convenience was particularly appealing during the post-war era when many families were embracing the ease of frozen meals. However, the rise of fast food and evolving home cooking techniques led to a decline in the dish's popularity. Fast food offered even quicker meal solutions, and as home cooking became more sophisticated, people sought fresher and more diverse options. Consequently, Salisbury steak became less common in everyday cooking, though it remains a nostalgic favorite for many who remember it from childhood dinners. Number 8. Jell-O Salad. Jell-O Salad, a staple in mid-20th century American cuisine, was an intriguing mix of sweet and savory elements. This dish often combined fruit-flavored gelatin with an array of ingredients like canned fruits, marshmallows, cottage cheese, and even vegetables such as shredded carrots and celery. Occasionally, it included more unconventional additions like olives or seafood, reflecting the experimental culinary spirit of the time. The preparation of Jell-O salad was relatively straightforward. Flavored gelatin was dissolved in hot water, then chilled until partially set. At this stage, various ingredients were folded in, creating a mosaic-like effect once the salad fully set. This unique blend of textures and flavors made it a conversation starter at family gatherings and potluck dinners. One of the key reasons for its popularity was the versatility it offered. Jell-O salad could be tailored to any occasion, from casual family meals to more formal celebrations. Its colorful presentation added a festive touch to holiday tables, particularly during Easter and Christmas. The dish was also a practical choice for homemakers, as it could be prepared in advance and required no cooking, freeing up time and effort for other tasks. However, as culinary tastes evolved, the appeal of Jell-O salad diminished. The 1970s and 1980s saw a growing preference for fresher, more natural foods. The artificial colors and flavors in gelatin-based dishes began to fall out of favor as people became more health-conscious. Additionally, the rise of diverse international cuisines introduced Americans to a broader spectrum of flavors and textures, making the quirky combinations in Jell-O salads less attractive. Jell-O salad's decline was also influenced by changing social dynamics. The convenience it offered was less of a selling point, as microwave ovens and ready-to-eat meals became more prevalent. Moreover, the increasing availability of fresh produce year-round reduced the reliance on canned fruits and vegetables, which were often used in Jell-O salads. Number 9. Deviled ham. Deviled ham, a fixture in many American kitchens from the early to mid-20th century, is a seasoned canned meat spread. It originated from ground ham mixed with a variety of spices such as mustard, pepper, and paprika, creating a zesty and savory flavor profile. This spread was particularly popular for making quick sandwiches and as a topping for crackers, offering a convenient and shelf-stable option for busy households. The appeal of deviled ham lay in its practicality. It did not require refrigeration before opening, making it an ideal pantry staple. It could be quickly prepared into a meal or snack, which was especially useful during the war years and post-war era when convenience foods gained prominence. The ease of use and long shelf life made it a common sight in lunchboxes and picnics. However, as the food landscape evolved, the popularity of deviled ham began to decline. The mid-20th century saw an increased availability of fresh deli meats, which were perceived as healthier and more flavorful. Supermarkets started offering a wide range of freshly sliced meats, providing consumers with more choices and better quality. Additionally, changing dietary trends and health consciousness led to a preference for less processed options. The decline was also influenced by a shift in taste preferences. The strong, spicy flavor of deviled ham, which once seemed exotic and appealing, began to lose favor as people opted for more natural and less processed foods. The rise of home refrigeration also played a role, as it allowed for the storage of fresh ingredients over canned goods. Number 10. Liver and onions. Liver and onions was once a staple in many households, particularly during the early to mid-20th century. This dish featured beef or calf liver, a highly nutritious organ meat rich in iron and vitamins, sautéed with onions. It was a practical choice for families, especially during tough economic times, due to its affordability and high nutritional content. The preparation involves slicing the liver into thin pieces, often soaking it in milk to reduce bitterness, and then dredging it in flour. The liver was then pan-fried, while the onions were caramelized separately until sweet and tender. Combining the two created a dish that balanced the strong flavor of the liver with the sweetness of the onions. Despite its nutritional benefits, liver and onions began to fall out of favor in the late 20th century. The decline was partly due to changing dietary preferences, with a shift away from organ meats towards more mainstream cuts of meat. Additionally, the strong flavor and unique texture of liver did not appeal to modern palates, particularly as younger generations grew up with different taste preferences. Health concerns also contributed to the decline. Although liver is nutrient-dense, it is also high in cholesterol, which became a concern as awareness about heart health increased. This led many to seek alternative sources of nutrition that aligned better with contemporary health guidelines. Cultural changes further impacted its popularity. As global cuisines became more accessible, the variety of available foods expanded, and traditional dishes like liver and onions were often replaced by more exotic and diverse meals. This culinary shift reduced the prominence of many once common dishes, including this one.